business English accounting words. And before we dive in further, don't forget to check out this free ebook on our website. The link is below. Let's begin. Welcome to your lecture focusing on the vocabulary of accounting, and we will do an activity focusing on words 1 to 10, but also we will look at example sentences and conversational examples. So lectures like this are very important. Your activity instructions are to complete the names of each of the accounting terms. And your activity tip is the meaning of the word is provided and to use this meaning to guess the word. So let's begin. Here's our first incomplete word. Its meaning a record used to track and organize financial transactions for a specific type of asset, liability, income, or expense. Each account shows all changes over time, helping businesses monitor their finances and make decisions. Have you reached an answer? And the answer is account. Let's see some example sentences now. The company kept a detailed record in their account to track all income and expenses. Paul set up a new account specifically for tracking project expenses. And now let's look at a scenario and a conversation using the word account. John and Mark work in the accounting department of a company. They're reviewing the monthly expenses to ensure all entries are correctly recorded. Mark, I noticed a large payment in the expenses account this month. Do you know what it is? Yes, that was for the new office equipment we ordered. I made sure it was recorded under the correct account. Perfect, thanks. I'll add a note in the account to track similar payments in the future. Good idea. It will keep the accounts organized and easy to review later. And that's the word account comprehensively covered. Our next word, meaning, the process of recording, organizing, and analyzing a company's financial activities like income and expenses to understand its financial health and make informed decisions. Have you guessed the word? And the answer is accounting. I'm learning accounting so I can help track our company's income and expenses better. Good accounting is essential if we want to understand where our money is going each month. And here's the all-important scenario and conversation. Jim and Ian work at a small business. Jim has recently started learning about accounting to help the company manage its finances better. Ian, a colleague, is curious about what Jim is working on. Ian, I've been diving into some accounting basics to get a better handle on our finances. Oh, that sounds useful. What exactly are you learning in accounting? Right now, I'm focusing on how to track our income and expenses more accurately. It will help us see where we are spending and where we might save. Makes sense. I imagine good accounting can really improve decision-making. Absolutely. Once we have a clearer picture of the numbers, we can plan for future growth with more confidence. And that's the word accounting covered. Our next word, meaning, and it refers to recording income and expenses when they happen, even if the cash hasn't been received or paid yet. It helps show a more accurate financial picture. Have you guessed the word? And the word is accrual. Our company uses accrual accounting, so we record sales as soon as they happen, even if we haven't received payment yet. The accrual for this month includes expenses we've recorded but haven't paid yet. And the scenario: James and Peter work in the finance department of a company. They are reviewing the monthly financial reports, and Peter notices some entries that look different from cash transactions. Peter, I noticed a few entries in the report that aren't actual cash payments. Do you know why that is? Yes, those are accruals. In accrual accounting, we record income and expenses when they occur, not necessarily when cash is received or paid. Got it. So, for example, if we invoice a client, we'd include that as income if they haven't paid yet. Exactly. Accruals give us a more accurate picture of our finances because we are tracking everything in real time. That makes sense. I can see how accruals help us plan more effectively. And that's the accounting word accrual. Our next accounting word, it refers to income or expenses that have been recorded but not yet received or paid. It represents money owed or expected in the future. Have you guessed the word? It's accrued. The accrued expenses for this month include bills we haven't paid yet. We have accrued income from clients who haven't completed their payments, but we recorded it for this month. And here's a great scenario. Tom and Alex, both accountants, are preparing the month-end financial statements and reviewing accrued entries. Alex, did you check the accrued expenses for the utilities? I think they need updating. Yes, I updated them this morning. We had an additional charge, so I added it to the accrued expenses. Perfect. We want to make sure everything's accurate before closing the month. Absolutely. Accrued expenses can add up quickly, so it's good to keep them in check. Exactly. I'll double-check the accrued income next, just to make sure we are not missing anything. And that's the word accrued covered. Next, we have an accounting word which means gradually paying off a debt or spreading out the cost of an asset over time. It helps show how much of a loan or expense has been paid and how much is still owed. Have you guessed the word? The answer is amortisation. The company uses amortisation to spread the cost of its new equipment over several years. We include monthly amortisation payments in our budget to gradually reduce the loan balance. And here's an example scenario. John and Mike work in accounting and are discussing the recent loan taken out for office renovations. Mike, how are we handling the loan for the renovations in the accounts? We are using amortisation. We'll pay off the loan gradually over the next 5 years. Got it. So instead of paying it all at once, we spread it out? Exactly. Each year, we'll show a portion of the loan as an expense until it's fully paid. And another scenario. Chris and David, both accountants, are reviewing the financial plan for a new piece of equipment the company recently purchased. They are discussing how the cost will be handled in the accounts. David, how are we handling the cost of the new equipment in the budget? It was a big investment. We are spreading it out over 5 years using amortisation. That way, we record a part of the cost each year instead of all at once. assets. Makes sense. So each year a portion goes under expenses? Exactly. Amortisation allows us to show the asset's value gradually decreasing over time, which gives us a clearer picture of our yearly expenses. Good approach. It will also keep our profits from taking a huge hit this year. And that's the word amortisation covered. Our next word means an increase in the value of an asset over time. It's often used for things like property or investments that become more valuable. Have you guessed the word? It's appreciation. Due to appreciation, the land we purchased is now worth more than we paid. The appreciation of our office building has increased its value over time. And now here's a scenario. David and John, both accountants, are reviewing the company's financial statements. They noticed that the value of certain assets has increased over time. John, have you seen the latest figures? The appreciation of our real estate holdings has significantly boosted our asset values. Yes, I noticed that. The properties we acquired a few years ago have increased in market value, which is great for our balance sheet. Absolutely. This appreciation not only enhances our financial position, but also provides us with more collateral for future investments. Agreed, we should consider revaluing these assets to reflect their current market value accurately. Good idea. Let's schedule a meeting with the valuation team to get updated appraisals. And that's the accounting word appreciation covered. Our next word meaning anything valuable that a company owns or controls, which is expected to provide future economic benefits. And the word is asset. Investing in new technology can become a significant asset for our operations. The company's balance sheet lists cash and inventory as current assets. Let's now move on to a scenario. David and John, both accountants, are reviewing the company's balance sheet to ensure all newly acquired assets from recent projects are accurately recorded before the quarterly review meeting. John, can we double-check that all the new assets we acquired last quarter are reflected here? Absolutely. I went through the balance sheet yesterday, and I believe every asset we added has been updated. Great. I noticed some entries that look new. Were they part of the latest projects? Yes, most of them. We've invested in a few key assets recently, and I made sure they are recorded correctly. Perfect. I'll take another look to ensure everything lines up. Thanks for confirming, John. No problem, David. It's essential to keep our asset records accurate. And that's the accounting word asset covered. Our next word means a detailed review or check of financial records to make sure everything is correct and follows the rules. Have you worked out the answer? It's audit. The audit revealed some minor errors in the financial statements, which were quickly corrected. The company undergoes an audit every year to ensure all financial records are accurate. And the scenario? Ian and Liam, both accountants, are preparing for the company's annual audit. Ian is new to the team and unfamiliar with the audit process, so he approaches Liam to get a clearer idea of what needs to be prepared. Hi Liam, I saw the email about the upcoming audit. I know it involves reviewing our financial records, but could you explain what we need to prepare? Sure, Ian. For the audit, we'll need to gather all essential documents like invoices, receipts, and bank statements. The auditors will check these to make sure everything is accurate. Right, so they'll be going over the details. Do we also prepare any summaries for them? Yes, exactly. We'll organise some reports and summaries so it's easier for the auditors to review our finances. Got it. And will they be only looking at this year's records? That's correct. The audit is done annually, so they'll focus on the records from the past year. Thanks, Liam. I feel much better about what we need to do for the audit now. And that's the word audit covered. Moving on, can you guess this word? It's the amount of money remaining in an account after all transactions. And the word is balance. After the recent expenses, the account balance is lower than expected. We need to check the balance at the end of each day to ensure accurate records. And our scenario: Mike and Alex are reviewing the company's financial accounts. Mike notices that one account has a lower balance than anticipated, so he asks Alex for clarification. Alex, I'm looking at the balance for our main account and it seems a bit low. Did we have any large expenses recently? Yes, we had a big payment go out yesterday for office equipment. That would explain the drop in the balance. Ah, that makes sense. I'll make a note of it. Good idea. Let's keep an eye on the balance for any other upcoming payments. And that's the accounting word balance covered. Our next word meaning at number 10, and it's the organisation where a company's or individual's money is deposited, withdrawn, and tracked for financial transactions. Can you guess it? It's bank. The company's funds are held in a local bank which manages all transactions for payroll and expenses. We'll need to consult the bank to secure a loan for the upcoming expansion. And our scenario: Ben and Ted are colleagues in the finance department of the company. Ben has recently joined the team and is reviewing the company's financial processes. He's unsure which bank the company uses for its main transactions, so he asks Ted for clarification. Ted, I'm updating our records. Which bank does the company use for its main account? We use Bingley's Bank for all our primary transactions. They handle our payroll, expenses, and any loan services. Great, thanks. I'll make a note of that. Do we also use them for international transfers? Yes, they manage both our domestic and international banking needs. Bank also has another meaning in verb form. It means to deposit money into a bank account. For example, when a business receives cash, it may bank the money by placing it in its account for safekeeping and future use. Let me show you how you can use this word in another context. After receiving the payment from the client, Sarah went to bank the cash at the end of the day. The company decided to bank the funds from recent sales to ensure they were securely deposited. And our scenario, Tom and Jake work in the finance department. Tom has collected payments from several clients and needs to deposit the money. He's unsure about the process, so he asks Jake for guidance on where and when to bank the funds. Jake, I've got the payments from today's clients. Do you know when I should bank the money? Yes, you'll want to bank it by the end of the day. Just take it to our branch around the corner. They are used to handling our deposits. Perfect. I'll head over there this afternoon. Thanks. No problem. It's best to bank it daily to keep everything up to date. Great work. That's the accounting word bank covered. Thank you for watching this lecture, and if you like this content, then please like and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next lesson.